Hey YouTube, coming at you with a really strong Halloween Cup team. So for those of you who, at the end of last week's before league turnover for Halloween Cup, I had dropped. I was at like I got up to like 2800, and then I dropped 300 plus ELO. Just like mixture of like bad playing, the game crashing constantly, just a bunch of things. So I was down to like 2450. As of the start of this video, as I've done now 5 or 6 Halloween Cup teams. I've showcased a bunch of them already, and I've got this one and a couple more coming. I am at 2825. So I have pushed back 350 plus ELO, maybe close to, 350, we'll call it, in a span of 4 or 5 days. 5 days. So this team is one of the reasons that I got up here. You're going to see a nice run here. Runerigus, Escav, Carbink. So I've already I've gone over all 3 of these Pokemon in previous teams, but basically their strength is Runerigus. I said was my low-key MVP of my first team. Actually, I'm pretty sure I used Carbink Runerigus combo. You are double weak to water with these 2 Pokemon, which is why, and one of the main waters here is Greninja. So that is why I have Escav as the counter user, and then Escav with Aerial Ace to cover Flyer. So that is the team. Let's look at some battles here. Runerigus against Charjabug. One of the strengths of Runerigus is being half ground, resist electric, resist poison. So I'm resisting this poison, but I am not resisting the crunch. I was just too slow on the get out. Like, this should be instant. This should be instant. Either or. I think Escav is better. Just neutral counters, resisted poisons. And you should be able to get to moves, but you need to make that move way, way quicker. So I will get to the draw run here. I'm pretty sure they shield. And then at this point, I started thinking, I'm like, I could still take Switch. And I think I will try to take Switch. Just because Runerigus absolutely walls Charjabug. So I bait here. But if they let this go, we'll see what happens here. They don't let it go. Yeah, I was going to say, if they let this go, I would not oppose to losing Switch there. Because Carbink and Runerigus are both going to dominate Charjabug, so I don't need to worry about that too much. Geldra went off. Runerigus does have the better matchup. Everything's resisted. I am pretty low though. That's unless they're running crunch. Unless they are running crunch. I see another poison come in. I am gonna hit it with a Sand Tomb, a super effective one at that, and that is enough just to farm this down. And this is just where Carbon kind of goes wild. And this is why I think most teams. I don't know when I'm posting this, but I do have an anti-Carbink team that is either out there right now or I will be posting in a minute here. Because if you really don't have an answer for it, it can just run teams like this, right? Lower the defense, rock throw, and now I get to another move before they're going to Volt Switch me down. So just straight domination from Carbink in the end game there. Mirror match. So always go to the Shadow Ball. On this channel, I say never bait. Never bait, never bait. This is one I would bait 100% of the time because the Shadow Claws in this matchup do so much, and being able to lower your opponent's defense while getting super effective Shadow Claws off, it's just so easy to take them out. So I got both shields before they finally threw. So this is great. And they go Shadow Ball, which is fine. I'm up 2 shields. Problem is, Escav, Carbink, obviously a big issue here. One of the things, I'll talk about that later on actually. So I just assume that it is the strongest answer I have. So I'm going to chip a little bit, come in here, probably start shielding up soon. I can take 1 for sure, but I don't imagine I can take this out before they get a second brine off. So I'm going to throw 1, maybe shield 1. The thought I was going to have there is generally Carbink and Runerigus can deal with most things. There are issues of ground type Pokemon. Like what was at the beginning? I forget what was at the beginning here. I'm sure it'll loop back. No, not Charge. I'll deal with Charger quite easy here. Was the Runerigus at the start? Did that already go down? Was that the last matchup? Runerigus. Where it gets tricky with this team is kind of against your backline is going to have trouble with ground Pokemon. Because most ground Pokemon in this meta are Runerigus or Golurk, where they resist the counter and the rock throw. So you're a bit tricky in the back end there. On my next team, which actually got me to the 28-20, which is probably going to come this weekend sometime, will be Mudshot Toxicroak. And I think for this meta, 95% of the time, in fact, when the league turnover happened and they talked about new moves, I said, don't use Mudshot Toxicroak, because Toxicroak's strength is just its counter ability. Not in this meta. Not when this meta is so poison dominated. So actually having Mudshot Toxicroak safe swap has been so dominant for me, because you get so many poisons where you still like generally have an okay matchup with Toxicroak because you're resisting poisons and you still have the Drill Run or Mud Bomb. But having a super effective Mudshot, which also gets you to the Mud Bombs quicker, is huge. So why I say that is, yes, this team is going to have problems with like some like ground type Pokemon in the back where counter, like ghost ground, where counter and rock throw are resisted. So you can switch Escav for Mud Shot Toxicroak as a safe swap. I think is very strong. So Dragalge comes back in. I have a Drone, so I'm going to get that off, but they make a nice catch on Jellicent. Question is, you'll live one Surf. The Surfs come quick compared to Carving, so I can definitely tank one. I have a Shield. Hopefully I can get to the move. I can't. So they're already at 3, so I know that they can throw the Surf here. So I just chip it, thinking that this is now good. It's low enough that I can probably just counter down and come out with a move. So let that go. Counter down. They do not get another move off. I have a Shield. So if the Dragalge has another Aqua Tail, I will shield it, and I get a super effective Drill Run. But yeah, there's where like Mudshot, Mud Bomb. You're gonna see it when I showcase the team. It's very strong. This lead is interesting. I think you're just gonna get significantly outpaced to the Night Slashes. I gotta imagine that these hurt from a Shadow Scizor are super effective. Not quite enough to take it out. I let the first one go in case it gets boosted, but I'm still probably in farm down range anyways at this point. Question is, can I get to a second Sand Tomb? And I can, so they're going to throw here to make sure I don't get it, which is great for me because their defense is already lowered, and now I can just come and counter. And they give up switch into Drapion, and Drapion's, again, tricky because these crunches do like non-shadow, maybe 40-45% here. No, even more than that. 50%, and they get the defense fall. So I'm going to get to the Drowan. They're already down a shield. They have energy though, so just to see how they want to play this. They do decide to shield, which is fine. I'll shield back. Basically, it was do they want to make it a 2-1 shield advantage or a 1-0? Either way is fine. Farm up a little bit, get to the Drill Run. I have shield advantage, obviously. This Pokemon's super low, and it is a Zoomerl in the back, so this is not great. They is this one where they actually land the Hydro, and I just don't call. I just like they don't have a Hydro, and then they have a Hydro, and I lose. Yep, this is it. Really, only one win condition is landing that, and they do, because now I'm just in Bubble and Ice Beam range. But if I shield it up, they probably actually could have got to another one before I got to another. And no, they were within Rock Slide range, so maybe I could have Rock Slide and counter. It would have been close anyways. Now the Ice Beam. Oh no, I definitely would have got to a move here. If I got the Rock Throw off, I probably could just counter down. Yeah, so I definitely should have shielded that Hydro. Get that off, but now the Scizor is going to take me out. Left with the shield. So good lead here. Charjabug, they get out into Jellicent. This is kind of my best answer for Jellicent. I'm at a Shadow Ball. This would one-shot, so this is again where I feel comfortable beating, and I grab the shield. I probably have to shield right back because everything is super effective here. Okay, I'll just take this very, very super effective Surf. I know that the problem is, again, without something that can deal with a lot of Ghost in this meta right now, surprisingly, because there is a lot of Darks in this meta too. You kind of need to come Carbink here, even though it does not have an amazing matchup. And I'm probably going to have to throw because I don't want to take another Surf. So we'll throw here. Take it out. They have the Greninja in the back. This is where having a counter user is great. Again, I know I'm not at Moonblast. I'm fine just chipping this here. Because it would be in counter range. Let's see. I was about to say, let's see if I can try and catch. Hydro will take me out. Escav, I'm gonna have to shield one counter. I mean Hydro. The question is, can they get to a second one? And I think with a Night Slash they can, and they give up Switch. And I get a shield. No, sorry, I get a Shadow Ball. Enough to chip, and then they're gonna have to throw because I'm gonna get to something here. And now I think I just commit to the full farm down. They get the crunch off. Goodbye. That's fine. I think I just commit to the full farm down and come out with a drill run and beat Greninja here. So they get a discharge off. Yeah, I only have one win condition. That is full farm, drill run. Probably should have just thrown right away. I don't know why I threw that extra counter. Again, especially I had no idea how much energy they had. It's kind of a weird counter there. Okay. Runerigus against Golurk, right? Here's another one of your ground ghosts. Zoomerl comes in, and this is my best answer to Zoomerl. So Zoomerl's a little kind of a problem with this team. I did run Mudshot with Sludge Bomb, and the thing is, if your opponent doesn't know what's happening, a lot of the wins I got, I feel like my opponent was just confused. It's like, how did you get to that move already? Because Mudshot charges way quicker, so it's only like maybe like 5 Mudshots to a Mud Bomb, and then like 6 to a Sludge Bomb, which is, and normally it's like 6 and 8, so people would be like really thrown off if they don't know what's going on. I've had fun with it, not gonna lie. Just going for chip here because I feel like I'm just gonna get farmed down and they're gonna shield anyway, so I'm thinking maybe I can get to a second Rock Slide if I bait. And these rock, again, resisted or not, Golurk is so glassy and you are so tanky, so these are adding up. Mandibuzz, even shields. What do they have? They had 2 answers for Carbink. I was gonna say try and draw out Carbink, punish it with Golurk so that your Mandibuzz can roam free. But it looks like your Mandibuzz is roaming free anyways when I only have a Runerigus left in the back here. So that is good chip. The problem is they're already at a Dark Pulse, and Sand Tomb resisted Shadow Claws ain't gonna do it. So I just let this go because I see the writing on the wall. I do Shadow Ball, it does take out, but then their other Pokemon is more than healthy enough to just take me out here. Okay, Mirror Match. Again, like I said, go for that Sand Tomb bait. I get the bait off. They shield. They are also throwing. And again, we'll see if I call it or not. I do call Sand Tomb. I feel like the majority of the people will go straight Sand Tomb. So I get it right. I know that they're just going to go Sand Tomb again, but I can live it. And now I can get to a Shadow Ball. And now I'm either going to grab 2 shields or take this out with a shield advantage. Either way is huge. I get shield advantage and switch. Out comes a Tentacruel. I guess Escav with Drill Run. Or am I coming Carbon because that's at least neutral here? Yeah, you can come either way. Scald will hurt. And they freaking acid spray me. I mean, Scald would hurt, but it wouldn't hurt that much. And is the bait worth it there? So I got to reset. And they come out with Charjabug, so this is okay. I'll get a couple drill runs off to either take this out or grab a shield. I doubt that they let... I think their only potential win condition is is the Tentacruel. So I'd be very, very surprised if they shield this up here. They do have a decent amount of health left, and they're not going to get a lot of farm here, so maybe... But no, as well say, their only win condition is a potential here. But my only lose condition now, here, fool me once. My only lose condition now is shielding the Acid Spray, which would severely lower my defense, and then getting hit with a Scald. So I did not do that. Well aware. There's a Greninja. Here is the answer to it. I'm going to have to shield once. You know what? They're going to get to 2 Hydros. Jesus. I hate getting baited. So I'm going to have to just throw just to get one back, but I know they're going to get to another one. So the question is, do I need switch here with a Skelederge on the front? And I think the answer is no. Because now I think I can Claw here. Night Slash will hurt. Yeah, will hurt a lot, but kind of got to let it go. If the Skelederge comes back in, I would have been able to hit for super effective because it's half Ghost. So it is an Azumarill. So I will get off a Shadow Ball. That is nice chip. I feel like they're just going to bubble down because I'm so low. Why not? So I know I can get a second one off here. I'm going to have to immediate switch because they're just going to bubble all the way down here. And I'm probably going to shield. Yeah, it is just a play rough. In the moment, I was like, any move that Azumarill throws is probably worse than what Skelederge is going to throw at me. So resisted fire. They could have a couple Shadow Balls here, but I'm basically at 2 Rock Slides already. So once I do one more Rock Throw, I'm at a second Rock Slide to take it out. So there's one shield. They get a move through. You'll live anything with these here. There's the Shadow Ball. You are too tanky. Rock Slide for the, what is a 5-0 win. So yeah, push with this team. Switch to Mud Shot, Toxicroak instead of Escav, and different Pokemon too, but here's your 5-0. Now up to 28-20-ish right now with a different idea. Using Toxicroak again with a different team moving forward. It's just slight tweaks. This is what always happens when I get close to Legend. It's just like, use something, it works really, really well for a bit, slight tweak. Use it, slight tweak. As opposed to earlier in the season, when I'm at like 24, 2500, it's just like, new team, just showcase, have fun. But when you're starting to push, it's just like, okay, this is working, but this just needs to be changed a bit. This is working, but this is how you make it better. And that's kind of how you adjust based on what you're seeing in your range and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I've been doing is I tested everything early in Halloween Cup, and now I've got like my idea and used it, and then I'm like, I gotta tweak this a little bit, so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Again, I don't know when it's going up. It's either going up before or after. Yeah, so we'll just end it here because I don't know when it's going up yet. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.